Emanuela was a cheerful little girl with sparkling school. She picked up her colorful coin jar and gave it a gentle shake. And although it barely made a sound, instead of feeling sad, Emanuela smiled brightly and said, "One day this jar will be full." One sunny afternoon, as birds chirped happily, Emanuela saw her neighbor, Auntie Grace, struggling to sweep her front yard. Leaves were everywhere, and Auntie Grace looked tired, prompting Emanuela to run over and ask politely, "Can I help you, Auntie Grace?" Auntie Grace smiled warmly. "That would be wonderful, thank you, Emanuela." And as Emanuela swept with care, pushing every leaf into a neat pile, she completed the task with pride, receiving one shiny coin from Auntie Grace, which she happily dropped into her jar. The next day she helped Uncle Ben wash his dusty car, and another day she watered flowers, arranged books, and helped carry groceries, with each job being tiny and each payment small, but something magical began to happen. One evening, Emanuela sat quietly and thought, "Why am I working so hard for such small money?" That weekend, she opened her jar and poured out the coins, and as they clattered onto the table, her eyes grew wide with amazement. The small coins had become big money, and Emanuela smiled and said, "Every small job done with effort and responsibility grows into something great," holding her jar close as she proudly declared, "Tiny jobs can make mighty money." From that day on, Emanuela didn't just earn money, she earned confidence, discipline, and pride, and her coin jar wasn't just a jar anymore. It was proof that hard work always adds up. With her jar overflowing, Emanuela realized that every small job completed with care had not only filled her coin jar, but also strengthened the bonds within her community, showing everyone that even tiny efforts can lead to mighty results. Inspired by her journey, Emanuela gathered her friends and began sharing her story of the magical coin jar, explaining how tiny jobs could lead to bigger dreams and motivating others to embrace responsibility and kindness. As she stood confidently in front of her class, sharing her experiences with her coin jar and the lessons she learned about hard work and helping others, Emanuela inspired her classmates to join her in making a difference in their community. United by Emanuela's message. Her friends eagerly joined her in various projects around the neighborhood, planting flowers in the local park, which became a beautiful testament to their hard work and commitment to the community. As the park flourished with the colorful flowers they had planted, Emanuela and her friends celebrated their success, realizing that their tiny jobs had not only created a beautiful space, but also brought the community closer together. At a community gathering, Emanuela stood proudly in front of her beloved coin jar, sharing her inspiring journey with everyone present, encouraging others to embrace the power of small actions and teamwork in making a difference. Emanuela's coin jar was getting heavier every day, and when she shook it, now clink, clank, clink, it sounded like music, sparking a sense of excitement within her as she envisioned all the wonderful things she could buy. But one afternoon, while visiting a small toy shop, her eyes sparkled with delight at the sight of dolls, puzzles, and colorful books, making her whisper to herself that she wanted everything. Yet, she reached into her pocket only to stop short, reminding herself that she needed to think wisely about her choices. And at home beside her jar, she began to reflect, asking herself whether she should spend all her money now or save for something special instead, recalling the tiny jobs she'd done and the effort it took to fill the jar, thus leading her to make a plan. Drawing 3 little boxes labeled Save, Spend, and Share on a piece of paper, carefully putting aside some coins to save, choosing one small toy to buy, and sharing a few coins to help a friend, filling her heart with pride that night as she realized she hadn't just learned how to earn money, she had also learned how to use it wisely. Smiling as she placed her jar back on the shelf and said, "Money grows best when we plan," while her magic coin jar sparkled quietly in the moonlight, ready for the next lesson. The following week, inspired by her newfound understanding, Emanuela eagerly went back to her coin jar, ready to continue her journey of learning about money management planning, each small expense with great care, while excitedly imagining what special items she might save for in the upcoming months, making sure that every decision was balanced between spending on little joys and saving for bigger dreams. feeling empowered every time she placed coins into her savings box. Realizing that the act of saving had become an adventure in itself, her joy grew not just from the treasures she could purchase, but from the knowledge that every small effort mattered and contributed to a greater goal. And as she watched her savings grow, Emanuela felt a sense of accomplishment and maturity beyond her years, knowing that she was not only growing financially, but growing as a person who valued patience, responsibility, and generosity. As weeks turned into months, Emanuela transformed her small coin jar into a treasure chest of lessons, embracing the rhythm of saving and spending with enthusiasm, often creating bright and creative charts to track her progress. And each time she reached a savings milestone, her heart swelled with pride, realizing that her efforts were not just about money, but about learning valuable life skills, such as patience, foresight, and the joy of sharing. She began to understand that every little coin contributed not only to her savings, but to her character as well. Specifically, the importance of being mindful and responsible with her choices, leading her to share her newfound wisdom with friends during playdates, inspiring them to join her in this adventure of smart saving and sharing, which made Emanuela feel like a true leader among her peers. And when she finally saved enough for a special toy she had dreamed of, she celebrated not just the purchase itself, but the remarkable journey that had brought her there, embodying the spirit of planning and saving that would guide her through many future